Today I'm going to show you how to forge out a pair of tong blanks from a heavy bar. This is a forging exercise that's thinly disguised as a tool project. A lot of people don't feel confident making tongs because they feel that all their tongs come out ugly and misshapen. Well, this is a great exercise to overcome that problem. I'm going to be using a 5/8 square bar and it's approximately 18 inches long. The chalk mark at each end, which is about 3 inches long or 75 millimeters, is the material that I'm going to be using to actually forge the tongs, and the bar in between the two chalk marks is for the reins. The first problem people have when they're forging heavier bars is they don't take the time to properly heat the metal. The bar on the left was heated until a visible color was seen that you might think is suitable for forging. And the bar on the right was given a few extra minutes just sitting at that temperature so the heat could really penetrate in the bar. And you can see how much more forging time I'm going to get out of the bar on the right hand side than I'm going to get on the left. It's already too cold for forging and I need to go back to the forge. So if I started working with the bar on the left, it would just be a big waste of energy and I wouldn't get any work done because the metal just doesn't want to move. So just taking that little bit of extra time to make sure that the heat has gone all the way through the bar really increases the workability of that bar and makes the hammering that much easier. It's still a lot of work and a long process. I'm not trying to pretend that it isn't, but the point of all this is to figure out techniques and ways of getting through the work and simply being tired and not injured. So if you work at this every once in a while when you have a chance, your body's going to become conditioned to the work, and when you are faced with a job that does require a lot of hammering, it's not going to be any big deal because you're going to be able to pace yourself and know how to do the work. So it's important to analyze your technique as you're working. Distribute the workload through all the major muscle groups in your body. Don't just lift the hammer with your arm. That'll just kill you in no time. You can get away with stuff like that when you're working with relatively small bars and very light hammers, but if you try that technique with larger metal work, then your body just won't take it. So at this point in the process, I've left the material at the end of the bar that I'm actually going to be using to forge the hinge and the jaws of the tongs. And I'm just working on thinning out the material for the reins. I'm not really looking after a particular dimension at this point, but I am forging it down in kind of a regular manner. So I'm taking it from the initial size down to a smaller size. I'm trying to get that more or less the same dimension, and I'm just sort of working through and creating that dimension right through the whole length of the bar. So I'm going to continue this process until I reach my mark at the other end of the bar. The reason I have that large bend in the bar is because I'm hitting the back of my forge, so I need that end bent up so I can get the center of the bar in the hot part of the fire. So at this point I have a fairly crude forging that's relatively consistent in diameter. So what I'm going to be doing is forging my way back out to the other end and straightening the bar out as I go. And here I'm cutting the bar in half. So at this point I'm ready to do the final forgings on the reins. I'm going to put them back in the fire and just start at one end and continue drawing down and creating that nice gradual taper that I want from the end of the reins right up to the hinge area. And again, don't feel that you have to forge these all out and wind up with a pair of tongs all in one day. You can break it up in sections. Do a bit of forging if you get tired or you want to figure something out. Stop, come back to it later. The whole idea with this exercise is to get the time in and work towards something that you need anyway. You never have enough tongs, and when you need tongs, they're time consuming to make. So by picking away at projects like this, you can build up a stock of tong blanks, and then when you need a pair of tongs, you can just go ahead and put them together fairly quickly because all the hard work is already done. So even though you're not forging usable tongs at this point, you're still developing the skills that you need to put out a consistent product. When you first do this, the first pair of tong blanks may not look that consistent. That's fine. Just do the best that you can. Set them aside. Keep forging tong blanks. Don't finish the tongs. Just keep massing up a number of tong blanks. As you do that, you're going to find that they are going to start becoming more and more consistent. So at that point you can move on to actually making the jaws of the tongs, and you're going to find that that process is going to be a lot simpler because you have all this experience hammering and analyzing what you're doing as you're working. As for your early tong blanks, just go through the pile, pick out the ones that look similar. If you feel you can repair them and make them look a little better, that's great. If not, just get them close, finish them off, and move on. Hi, I'm Dennis, and thanks for watching. If you're interested in supporting this channel, the simplest way, of course, is to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have questions and you want to contact me directly, you can do so by emailing me at either one of the addresses that I have listed here. It may take me a couple of days, but I will get back to you. Of course, financial support is always welcome. The only product that I produce is the information contained in these free videos. So if you like the work that I'm doing and the videos that I'm putting out, and you can spare a couple of dollars a month, consider becoming a patron by clicking the orange Patreon logo at the bottom of the screen. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.